Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and I wanted to talk a little bit about Google Glass, iPhone 6, and a little problem I'm having with my iPhone 5S. So I've had Google Glass for about almost a year. I've had them since last June, actually. The beginning of June, I picked them up from Google in New York City, and I have to say I haven't really used them that much. In fact, most people that I know that have them, I know a couple other people, they pretty much sit on the shelf most of the time. And one of the reasons is, well, they kind of look, depending where you live, a little ridiculous. Maybe they're a little cool, hipster. It depends where you live and what you think of them. Some people think you're idiots, you're recording them all the time. But where I live in the Pittsburgh area, I've pretty much been ignored for the most part, strangely enough. I know a lot of people have had people ask them about it, things like that. I've had people point at me and say, hey, that's Google Glass. I've had that happen in New York City and in Pittsburgh. But other than that, not really much interaction with people about it. Now, as far as what I would use them for, or do use them for, is the video camera. And that's this 5-megapixel camera here. It records in 720p, and I have to say it doesn't do that great of a job. In fact, I'd much rather use my iPhone, any Galaxy phone, any Nexus phone. For the most part, this is just not that good of a camera. It takes pretty good photos, but the video is not that great, and the microphone's not that great. So it's really pretty much what I would use it for. Now, it does project images to you, let you know your current information, so you get some email that Google knows you look at regularly. It will pop up in the display, and that's great, and that works well. But honestly, I can look at my phone, and I know Sergey Brin said this is a better, more elegant solution than looking down at your phone all the time and thinking, oh, let me check my messages, okay, and let me talk to you. I don't know that this is that solution. I don't know if a wristwatch is better, like an iWatch. I don't know if maybe a future version of this where these are in the lenses themselves is a better idea. Let me know what you think in the comments below, but really what I want to know is, since they're available, will you buy them? Have you bought them? If you have bought them, what do you think about them? Do you use them regularly? I know, like I said, I don't use them that much. I do use them from time to time. And for $1,500, I can definitely say these are not what I would pay $1,500 for normally. There are a lot of things you can get for $1,500. 2 iPhone 5Ss, you could get a couple iPads, you could get a MacBook Air, lower-end MacBook Pro, you could get a really nice Ultrabook, you could get multiple tablets, different makes. There's a lot of different things you could get. In fact, an Xbox One, a PS4, and a Wii U combined still don't add up to the price of this before tax. So that's probably a little bit much. What do you think these should cost? I personally, after using them, think they should be $200 to $300. Somewhere $249 would probably be a fair price. Now, they do make one great pair of sunglasses and navigators for when you're using navigation. And I've shown these in other videos, but the sunglasses here work actually pretty well. And these are the original Explorer Edition sunglasses. They say XE in them. And they did send me a little lighter pair, and they're really great when you're using them for bicycling, things like that. That's when these come in handy, when you're doing things where you can't use your hands. And the voice commands are good and things like that. And I could go on and on about Google Glass, but I'm really kind of doing this video to get some of your feedback on it as well. Now, with Google Glass, that's the first thing I mentioned we're going to talk about. The second thing I want to talk about is iPhone 6. And before I continue, is this a type of video you want to see regularly every week? I've done a few of these thoughts videos or my opinion videos, and some of you have commented and said you'd like to see more of them. I'd like to know what you think. So let me know that in the comments below as well. For those of you that follow me regular, it's really nice to see that you do want to see these kind of videos, and I'd like to know, is that something you'd like to see continued? Now, as far as iPhone 6 goes, it's definitely looking like a larger display is in the works. 4.7-inch display is what looks like is going to be the next display, with rounded edges as opposed to the squared off edges, and a thinner body, which is pretty incredible considering the iPhone 5S is incredibly thin. Activated Siri is incredibly thin to begin with. It's a really nice device, and getting thinner but lowering battery life or making those compromises to me is not a good thing. So hopefully Apple puts a bigger battery. Now, I know some people commented on one of my videos on why I still use iPhone, and I actually get really good battery life out of the iPhone. I find that it lasts me all day easily. And some Android phones don't do that. Many of the current ones do that, and then some. And the Windows phones do that easily as well. But I have great battery life, but I would much rather have a slightly thicker device with a giant battery in it. That's my preference. But an iPhone 6, I don't know what else they're going to do. Obviously, they're going to do some software updates, things like that. We'll probably see in June, I was going to say for some reason, in June. And I think you will see Touch ID, you'll see a larger display, and I'm not really sure what else. Probably a little bit better camera. But I'm kind of getting sick of these similar updates, so I don't know what else they could do. It's kind of gotten to the point where it's pretty refined, but let me know what you think in the comments below as far as that as well. The final thing has to do with my camera. Now, I did a video some time ago about iPhone 5 and that I got dust under the lens, and I have dust under the lens of the 5S. I keep this in my pocket. I don't have a case on it usually. I have a skin on the back and a glass screen protector on the front, and that's about it. And somehow, underneath the sapphire lens, there's dust, and it shows in some of the images too. So I definitely have to get that replaced, and that's one of the reasons I stick with Apple. I know some people criticize this, but the one thing I really like is going to the store and saying, hey, this is a problem. They hand me a new phone in 5 minutes, and I walk out of there. As long as it's under warranty or something that's covered for the most part. So that's definitely something that I really like about that. With some of the other phones, unless you have somebody nearby with, say, a Microsoft store, it's a little bit more difficult to do that with the other phones, and there's not really a store to go to. But those are starting to pop up, Sony, Samsung stores, things like that. So hopefully that changes in the future, but I thought I'd just update you on that. It's easy enough. I'll walk in there, I'll show them, I'll make an appointment, show them, they'll give me a new phone or clean it or whatever they do and hand me a new one, and I'll be on my way. So let me know what you think about Google Glass. What would you pay for it? What do you think about iPhone 6? What would you like to see in it? Or is it time to switch to something else? And finally, I have a problem with my iPhone 5S. No big deal, but let me know if you've had that problem as well, and if Apple happily swapped it out for you like they have for me in the past. If you have any other questions, let me know in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. Sorry for the long rambling, but as always, this is Aaron. I'll see you next time.